Welcome to Harris Faulkner's America. I am Harris Faulkner, and we are just a week away and a few hours from the national election, although more than 15 million people have already cast early voting and absentee early voting in person and absentee votes as well. There are a few states where you can change your votes. Interestingly enough, we'll talk about that in the next few minutes with my guest. But first, the man who made news on Fox Report Sunday night, last night, by saying that after all the many years, decades, that he's known Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, he's had a change of heart. And I want to bring in Doug Schoen. So first of all, Doug, it's great to see you.
Well, thank you, Harris.
We're sitting on set last night.
Yeah.
And we're always on our devices. So I didn't realize this was happening, but you made an announcement. What was it?
Here's what I said. I said that after having worked very, very harmoniously, and I think successfully, for Bill Clinton for 6 years in the White House, and having been a steadfast supporter of Hillary Clinton, helped her Senate campaigns, been a supporter of her first presidential campaign, and until last night, her second presidential campaign, I said, given what's happened, I just cannot continue to support her candidacy. I'm not changing to become a Trump supporter. My worldview is the same, but I can't vote for somebody who could yield or produce an immediate constitutional crisis.
All right, so there's been some pushback today on constitutional crisis. Can you lay it out for us and tell us what you meant?
Look, I can't advocate for electing somebody who might well be and could well be now under active criminal investigation as our president-elect. I can't advocate for that. I get the argument of those who would disagree, but Comey is going to go through, FBI Director Comey, 650,000 more emails. And if that produces a criminal investigation, which it could well do, how can we have a controversy like Watergate brought on willingly?
And, you know, last night we talked about, well, what if President Obama pardons her, and if she should win the White House? What if she pardons herself? And what I heard you and Pat Goodell saying, that's not enough because it doesn't wipe away what we truly want to know, and that is what the facts are.
Correct. We need a president, Harris, who is legitimately the president of all the people, meaning that there's confidence, that there's a honeymoon period. And I'm worried that there will be multiple investigations of Secretary Clinton from the outset, and we will be weakened at home and abroad.
Wow. Okay. So during Fox Report last night, your phone started to literally jump up off the desk here. Who was calling?
Well, I had a call immediately from the Hill newspaper saying, could I immediately, do not pass go, post a piece explaining what on Fox News Report, the show that you
Fox
host,
Report, yeah.
If I could explain why I did what I did. Real Clear Politics posted an excerpt of Fox Report, and my phone, I got hundreds of emails from people largely praising me for my courage.
What I saw trending in my own Twitter feed, and then you were trending on Twitter.
I heard that.
Which was odd to see Doug Schoen trending on Twitter and Fox Report. I was all excited over that. Was that people, both sides of the political aisle, weren't just surprised? Because I think some people maybe weren't. They knew how close you were with the Clintons, but also had heard you say that there were some big questions with the Clinton Foundation and the email server that was found to be private and in, kind of wrapped up in a tawdry tale.
Yes.
But people were relieved that somebody who could have a friendship, could have a past, could be a confidant, would step back and be an American and say, I got to look at this for the good of the country. So there was relief in a bipartisan manner. Well,
first of all, thank you for saying that and reporting that. And I'm proud. I always say, and I've said on your show many times, I'm an American first, not a Democrat or Republican. But the other thing is I couldn't go on Fox News and certainly on Fox Report with you both last night and next weekend and say that I could defend her actions or support what has transpired for our next president. I couldn't do it.
All right, I want to go over some of the news points
Please.
because as we look now, it is 1:48 and 20 seconds on the East Coast here. We're live on Facebook Live. We want to thank everybody for watching us there, and then later they'll be able to watch us on foxnews.com as we wrap this up.
Sure.
Look, some things are happening. Clinton's unfavorable rating has just hit a high in an ABC News Washington poll. I think that's supposed to say Washington Post poll.
I think that would be right.
At 60% of voters view Hillary Clinton unfavorably.
Yes, look, this is ominous news for the Secretary of State. A week or so ago, she had a 12-point lead in that poll. That lead is now down to 1 point, and that...
Yeah, it's not even considered a thing because it's well within the
margin of
error.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're in a tied race, and her negative going up is a result, I think, of the email controversy.
And have you seen what Donald Trump is now doing, too? I mean, yes, he's going to hit her on that, but he's talking a lot about Obamacare on the stump. I mean, he's letting the inferno burn with the whole email situation.
He's doing the right thing.
And I haven't heard you say that much this cycle.
That's correct. We've been very, I want to be
I mean,
clear.
you're opposite side of the aisle.
Opposite side of the aisle. I disagree with Donald Trump on most of his policies. I'm not now supporting him, but I try to be honest, and that he's doing the right thing today.
All right, I want to take a look at this. This is now unembargoed, as
Okay.
we say in the news business.
Sure.
Monmouth University poll, specifically looking at Indiana. Tell me why this is important. It no longer looks like Democrats can count on Indiana for an easy +1 in their bid to take control of the U.S. Senate. Additionally, Donald Trump now holds an 11-point, let me look at this, an 11-point lead over Hillary Clinton for president. This is just coming out.
Right.
Indiana Democrats are looking at this, I would imagine, too. What's going on?
Well, here's what's happening. Since some polling last week, Donald Trump's lead in Indiana has gone from about 5 or 6 points up to 11, and Evan Bayh, who has been slipping from a double-digit, almost 20-point
The Democrat incumbent.
lead, yeah, the Democratic challenger who was out of the Senate for 6 years.
That's true.
He's back.
Thank you.
And he became a lobbyist, and he's been attacked for becoming a Washington insider. And that race now is effectively deadlocked. And so Evan has lost 20-odd points in the 4 or 5 months he's been a candidate.
And thank you for correcting me on that, because I was woefully wrong.
No.
Evan Bayh's been around a long time.
He
He's
has.
Right. He did the dip. He went into lobby
Yes.
and then came back.
That's right.
All right, so Trump is targeting Democratic states now.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think, was in Grand Rapids, Michigan today.
Shortly before we went live here on Facebook Live.
Precisely. Here's what he's got to do. To make the Electoral College map simple, if he doesn't win Michigan, Wisconsin, or Pennsylvania, very, very difficult, if not almost impossible, for him to win. On the other hand, if he can win the states that Romney won, plus Florida and Ohio, and I think New Hampshire, a congressional district in Maine, and Nevada, and Pennsylvania, my sense is he's president of the United States.
You know what's interesting? 2 of those early states you mentioned, Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, are a couple of places where if you did early voting or absentee voting, you can actually change your vote.
Right.
There are a handful of those types of states.
Sure.
Hawaii is one of them. So it's interesting because it is so tight already in Pennsylvania. I think it's a 5-point differential
You're right
now.
Absolutely.
That could make a difference
Yes.
if people even know that that's an option. All
Yes.
right, I want to move on to what's been breaking for about an hour now, and that's CNN releasing a statement on the now interim chair of the DNC. She was a contributor for
Sure.
CNN, Democratic contributor, who's been accused of releasing questions to Hillary Clinton
Right.
pre-debate, one of the debates. And now CNN has just said that they have accepted her resignation. Your thoughts?
Well, I saw her interview with Megyn Kelly, and I read the emails, and it was pretty clear that she had done that. And I don't know why she
Gave those questions.
Yes.
Gave at least one. Now today we're learning maybe 2.
Well, that's absolutely wrong. She did the right thing to resign. I think she would have done better for herself and, indeed, for Hillary Clinton if she'd resigned immediately and apologized.
You know, what's interesting, too, is where this puts some of the mainstream media, because who have you heard talking about this? Donald Trump.
Right.
Where does this put, I mean, CNN now has had to make a statement that they stand apart from Donna Brazile, that they in no way, shape, or form would have given her access
Correct.
to any of this. But from the big picture, how does it affect Hillary Clinton?
Well, there is this perception of a coziness, Harris, between Hillary and the mainstream media, and we saw that in...
Do you think it's a perception?
I think it's probably a reality, Harris.
I mean, I don't know. I know that life out of context, if we have any of our emails hacked, we probably would have some explaining to do to, I would imagine, family members for some people. Some people might get into trouble, so on and so forth. But I don't think, after seeing some things like John Harwood, who is one of the elite journalists in our country, I don't think that there's much question that there was a coziness.
No, there wasn't much coziness. And I know you and certainly all of our colleagues here at Fox do the best we can.
We do.
To
We're not
maintain our
perfect.
Independence. Never
No
claim
one is
that.
perfect.
But
this is like a trend.
Yes.
A collection.
It's a bad trend. And really what I was trying to do with my own announcement about Secretary Clinton, I'm proud of my work for President Clinton and for her in the past. But you know what? Right is right. You're a journalist. You're an analyst. You are not an advocate. And I am at first and foremost reporting and analyzing, not advocating.
Donna Brazile, what happens inside the Democratic Party? Because they've already had to replace one DNC chair.
They embrace her.
They embrace her.
It's a week
they didn't embrace Wasserman Schultz after she, ran
think,
whatever that was against Bernie.
I think
looked crooked.
It's 8 days
rigged
before.
Or whatever.
It probably was. Yeah. I think it was rigged against Bernie. But 8 days before an election, 7 days before an election, I think there won't be a change. But Donna Brazile, very definitely after the election, the interim will come off and she will leave.
Second FBI investigation, game changer?
We don't know.
We don't know because we don't know what's in it.
Right, exactly.
What the FBI has.
Right.
All right. Doug, thank you.
Harris, thank you.
Our viewers on Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, Fox Report, love you for your candor. Sometimes you take some blowback.
I do.
In social media and your email, but you got a lot of positive reinforcement from people on both sides of the political aisle since your statements about you're going to take an honest look at your friend and you're reconsidering your vote for Hillary Clinton.
And thank you, Harris, for all you do.
I know that's not easy for you.
No, it isn't, but you provided last night a perfect forum, and I felt comfortable that I'd get a chance to explain, explicate, and hopefully get viewer recognition that it was a tough thing.
Yeah, it is a tough thing to do. And I would say this, just to make it clear on your behalf, because you said it a couple times, I hear you saying that you're not there with Donald Trump.
No.
That's not where you're going.
No.
So, Doug, are you, for the first time in your professional life, not going to vote?
At this point, that's where I am.
You know, that to me is the saddest thing, no matter where you are politically, because of how hard fought the right that we have to the democracy.
I will show up. I'll vote for Senate, House, local office.
Yeah, you'll do the other parts of it.
But I'm not voting for president.
Wow. Well, I'm voting for you, friend, to come back, and we'll see each other on Saturday night.
I look forward.
Pre-election edition of Fox Report, 7 p.m. Eastern.
I look forward.
All right, we'll see you then.
Thanks
for watching us digitally. Harris Faulkner's America had you in it today. I'm so grateful. Have a good day.